Welcome to the Quantum Empath. I'm your host, Kelly Michelle, intuitive guide, alchemist, and reality hacker. This is a space where esoteric knowledge, ancient wisdom, personal development, and quantum physics meet to help you shift your frequency, break old patterns, and step into the life your soul came here to live. Let's expand your awareness, upgrade your energy, and create your dream reality, one episode at a time. Let's begin. Welcome to the Quantum Empath. My name is Kelly Michelle, and I am going to talk to you about the 25 things that I did to change my life. Back in 2020, when the world closed down, I was isolated and alone by myself for the first time, maybe in my adult life. So I went within. I didn't have a choice. And one of the first things that I did was I started going on long walks outside in nature, just wandering around and collecting heart rocks and looking for butterflies and picking up pieces of wood and just being outside. I could not sit in my four walls every day, all day. So that was one of the first things I did. And because I was out walking every day, I would listen to affirmations. I was listening to podcasts. I was learning. I was growing. I was expanding my mind. So once I realized, oh, dang, self-love is really important. I had for years, my entire life, up until a few years ago, I would consider myself somebody who was a words of affirmation. I was very much somebody who I liked outside validation. Please tell me I'm pretty. Please tell me I'm a good mom. Please tell me I'm a good friend. Please tell me I'm a good daughter. Please tell me I look cute. I outsourced it all to everyone else. And if they didn't say anything, then I would think there was something wrong with me. That's the kind of empath I was. I was an absorbent empath who was pouring from an empty cup. So I started brainwashing myself. I started listening to things about, I am sexy, I am beautiful, I am amazing. I started brainwashing the heck out of myself, you guys. More on that later. But self-love, okay? I stopped trying to control everyone and life. I quit trying to tell my kids how to act. I quit trying to tell them how they should eat. I quit trying to tell people what they should do. I quit trying to be such an OCD neatnik. My house, I think because I grew up in such a kind of filthy house, and it was just a lot of boys and dogs, and it was dirty and messy. Let's call it messy. It wasn't like a hoarder house, but it was messy. And so when I moved out, I went into the Air Force, and that was like super tidy. You have to be super tidy to be in the Air Force. And then I was in base housing, and I had to keep that really clean. And then I just had OCD. To the point where I remember when I was living with my ex-husband and we were just purchasing a house together at the time. And he's like, can we have the house a little messy? Does it have to look perfect like a showroom? And I was like, yeah, it does. But, I had to have kids first. And then I still wanted a showroom house with kids, which leads to a lot of anxiety and beating myself up that I probably didn't need to do for the 13, 14 years that I tried to control that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So stop controlling what other people do. You can't. I started tuning into my own truths. what feels good for me? Do I feel like cleaning, or was it the ability to help others live peacefully? Oh, well, I love helping people. I do. But did I love the up and down, the making the beds and doing the laundry and mopping the floors? I would get home from work and I was exhausted. I would only really clean 1 or 2 houses a day, but it's hard work, especially if you're thorough like me. So I started deciding, hey, you know what? I love helping people and I love making people happy, but my clients were literally telling me about going to other places for Reiki and going to their marriage counselor and doing all this stuff. And I thought, why aren't they asking me? And then I realized, oh, they're paying me to clean their house. So people are going to pay you for the thing that you say you're an expert at, right? And so that's a side note. I would say I had to decide that the people that were meant to come with me on this next chapter might not be the same people that I was working for. And I had to be okay with that. I had to be okay with the fact that this was something that they may or may not join me on. No harm, no foul. So I got really clear about what I wanted my days to feel like. Then I decided I needed to tune into my guides. I met my higher self and my guides, and I started interacting with them through the use of a pendulum, which is my next point, because this I used to think was evil. And I'm holding up a pendulum for the people that are listening. And I used to think it was evil. And I had somebody who said, hey, have you ever heard of this or tried one of these? And I was like, I don't even know what it is, but I think it's evil. And she's like, well, you might want to look into it. And so my first pendulum was a crystal rock with dental floss, because it was during COVID. I really couldn't go shopping. So I started learning how to use a pendulum and tuning into my guides. And then that escalated into learning how to use charts. And then that escalated into how I do my work for my clients, the deep, deep intuitive work that I do. The next, number 7, is affirmations and subliminals. I was brainwashing the heck out of myself. I was doing it on hikes. I was doing it all day while I was cleaning. I was listening to subliminals at night while I was sleeping. I was seriously trying to reprogram my brain. And I'm just going to take a little sidetrack and take you on a visual, because if I had to do it all over again, I would move the affirmations and subliminals down the road a little bit and suggest that first you clean out the cup, the vessel, do your detoxing, do your removing your emotional blocks, removing the trap stuff in your energy field. Because just like if you were wanting to make a cup of tea, you would want fresh water in your cup. And a lot of people like me, I was trying to put a tea bag into my cup of coffee. And so in hindsight, yeah, I would do removing all the stuff first and then reprogramming. I think that might shorten it, because now I'm totally reprogramming with fresh water. Okay, number 8. Treat everything like magic. Ooh, this one was fun. I used to get, well, I still do, green lights, parking spots, rainbows, a dime on the ground. I would stop and say, oh, thank you. Thank you for the green light. Thank you for the dime. Thank you for that rainbow. Thank you for the time to go hike with my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's that gratitude piece, right? But I think a lot of us, we get all these synchronicities in our life, and then we just keep on keeping on, and we aren't stopping to thank anyone for the messages that they're trying to send us. And so when you're keeping your life magical and thanking your guides, it's kind of like it gives them excitement. They get to be like, oh, they got it, they got it, they got it. So I like to give them gratitude every time they send a miracle, small or big, my way. Life scripting, number 9. Life scripting. Write it down. Get really clear on what your vision is for your life. And when I say that, I'm saying really clear. And so much that when I do my sound healings with my clients, I like to walk them through their ideal day. I like for people to imagine what it's like when you get out of bed in the morning. What's the view? What does it smell like? Who are you with? Are you by yourself? Are you at the beach? Where are you? What's the house like? Are you in the mountains? Is it snowy? Get real clear on those types of things, because then that's how you reverse engineer it. So if your ideal life is at the ocean and you're in the desert, is that your ideal life? How do you make a way to get to the ocean? So we have to reverse engineer it. If somebody offers you a job in Ohio, but you want to be next to the ocean, you really need to check with yourself. Is that toward your goal or not? So, life scripting. It's a way to get really, really clear on the things you want in your life. And then let God, source, universe sort out the details. You got to listen. Okay. Number 10, outside time. Meditation, exercise, grounding, sun gazing. All of us are natural human beings. We exist here on this earth just like all the other organisms. And we need to interact with the earth. We have ions to exchange with the earth. We have the sun bringing us light codes. We have exercise that moves our lymph and helps us stay pliable and flexible and get our blood flowing. It doesn't have to be miserable. You can exercise and have it be enjoyable. So go outside. If you're going to do your sun gazing, make sure you're doing that no later than an hour after sunrise, or an hour, or no sooner than an hour before sunset. That's when you're going to get the least intense, but with all the benefits. And then on that note, I'm just going to say I cut out fluoride a long time ago. I don't do that. Okay. Oh, this next one, 11, read. Can you read? Maybe you listen to books. Maybe you love to read a book, but I think books are really important. And it's something that somebody has taken so much time and energy to research and put into words for us to wrap our tiny little brains around a concept. In their life's work, we are receiving knowledge. And knowledge is power. Whether you're watching, you're listening, you're reading, I don't watch a lot of nonsense. I watch documentaries. I use discernment. That's the next one. Number 12 is discernment. Not all is as it seems. It says talk about being paid for. I need to talk about that because I have been going through my accounts on my social media, and I went in with my pendulum and I said, show me any disruptive elements. And I went through my following and I went through my followers. What did I find? People who paid for me to be following their accounts, and I immediately blocked them. And then people who were following me that had actual, like, they have no posts. They have maybe a couple pictures. They're fake as fake. I can see it. So block. Clean out your energetic closet. Use discernment. Okay, let's talk about taking chances. We all know the law of attraction is we can have the life of our dreams, but we can't just do it sitting on the couch. Okay, this is where most people get stuck because it's kind of a trap. Because unless you are super adventurous, which hopefully if you're watching this, you are, you're going to have to take some chances. And fortunately for me, I had a multi-millionaire client that I was cleaning for who was guiding me as her student, and she was my mentor, but she didn't charge me. She would just give me little tips now and then. And when I told her I was going to open my business, she said, you're going to want to fund that with your own money. And I was writing a business plan because I wanted to go out and get other people to fund my business. And she's like, why? Why would they do that? And I said, well, because I'm a nice person. And she's like, yeah, but they want a return on their investment. And I was like, but they will. And she's like, well, how do you know? It's not proven. And I was like, well, I don't know. Because this thing says it is. It's all in the plan. She was right. If I had borrowed money from other people, I would not be here right now. I would not be here right now because I would have just been playing with other people's money. I wouldn't have had to get out of my comfort zone and my fear of being seen and my ability to trust myself and listen to my intuition and know that I wrote this all down a long time ago. And then I started my podcast and I was like, I just want to do it in my bathrobe. So I'm not going to do video. I'm just going to do it in my bathrobe and give you guys the audio. Now I do both. I take a shower for you, you're welcome. Okay, the next one, number 14, is treating the kids as partners in the family. I have 2 teenage boys and they are awesome. And it wasn't always like that. I didn't have the greatest parenting skills when they were little. And I was very much a pedestal parent. I thought I was better than them. I could just boss them around and tell them what to do and take out the trash and do this, do that, pick up your clothes, clean your room. And I guess those are all like things that we should teach our kids to do, but also they can think for themselves. If they want to be in a messy room, can't they be in a messy room? I mean, is that my problem? And that's back to that whole control thing. I make my bed every day, but I do not tell my kids to make their bed. If they want to make their bed, yay, for them. If they want to sleep with the things all disarray, okay, that's fine too. It's not for me. So we share chores around here, and it's a beautiful thing. The other day, my son said, oh, I'm going to go mow the lawn. I didn't ask him to do that. He just did. I take out the trash if it's full, but if somebody else sees it's full, they take it out. It's just beautiful and harmonious. I love it. Number 15, forgiveness. This was a big part of my journey. I had a lot of people who I was still holding resentment toward. A lot. The list was long. I had to write a letter or come to terms with the way that I was still holding grudges against people who weren't even alive anymore. My dad was a big one. My first husband was a big one. My mom is a big one. My stepdad, who had crossed over already. These are all people that I was holding resentment for in my body, in my heart, and my soul, that I had to forgive and retell this story. And that's not to say that I went and apologized or forgave them face to face. It is something that we send out for ourselves. Okay. And with that, my 16th is knowing who my soul contracts are. I do soul contract readings, and by finding out who my soul contracts are and what they are, it makes the picture seem more clear. So knowing my mom is an ancestral soul contract. My brother was an ancestral soul contract. My best friend is a soulmate. My sweetheart is a twin flame. My son, my oldest son, is a healing soul contract. My younger son is an ancestral contract. Knowing what the contracts are can help us move on from the not so lovely things and maybe offer forgiveness, where if this person and you agreed before you came here to be the thing that offers you contrast in your life, then break the contract. Break the contract and forgive and move on. And it's a whole thing and we can go into it, but I haven't had a whole lot of luck talking about soul contracts. I feel like I get censored when I talk about them. So there's that. Okay. Number 17, removing emotional blocks, subconscious. Oh yeah, this is fun. I've been working with charts for about 4 to 5 years. I've been working with different charts, and I've curated over 100 charts that I look into for my clients. It's finding the emotional traps. It's finding things in the biofield. It's soul retrieval. It's recoding and updating your new software. It's deleting old software. So that's how I work with the egg and intention and helping my clients clear stuff from across all the different timelines. Okay, moving on. 18, paying my bills with gratitude. Because I had my multimillionaire client who was a self-made multimillionaire, and she was very honest and open about that, she suggested I read the book A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And it's very quantum. It's very quantum. Let's just say it's a challenging read unless you've been studying the laws and you're ready to believe that money is energy and that it's a frequency, and all you have to do is match the frequency. And I don't know how to explain it except that when you are on the radio dial and your channel is playing lack, fear, victim, you're playing in a genre that's not gonna bring the same financial return as a genre of music that is singing about love and joy and peace and abundance. So we want to change our channel on the station, and I help people do that, and we're doing it. Number 19, surrender, faith, trust, and going with the flow. This is a Florence Scovel Shinn thing. In the book, she would have somebody who was needing money quickly and a lot of money back in the day. And she would say, well, now take yourself out to a nice dinner and spend your last dime, and that sounds like the worst thing that we can do, but it's also one of the things that says, I trust that you will provide what I need, even when I release this into the world. And that's that whole currency, and it's supposed to flow. We're not supposed to grip it, which is what I was taught to do. Grip it, hold on to it. It's scary. Okay. Number 20, being playful, having fun. And what is fun for me? I love the detective work. I love when I do a dowsing session with people and they're like, wow, how'd you know? I don't know. It's the Akashic records. It's all stored in the field. I tune into your higher self. And then sometimes things that show up on the charts I've never seen before. And then I don't know if I'll ever see them again. It's like they show up for the people and then, I don't know, they disappear. Okay, number 21, slowing down. Oh my goodness, this one was hard for me because I've been working since I was in 8th grade. I used to leave school, walk a couple miles to my mom's work, that she worked in a lab, a little laboratory where they took blood and did urine samples and stuff. I cleaned the urine cups. I cleaned the little test tubes. They actually reused them in those days. Kind of gross, eh? But that's what I did. First job. So slowing down has been really challenging because for those of us who have been working our entire lives and we've been grinding our entire lives, it's really hard to just be. I feel like I should do this, I should do that, I should mop my floors, I should vacuum my houses, I should put out a video, I should do this, I should do that, I should go get a job. That's what I should do. And Spirit's like, girl, have you not learned anything? Do you know who you are? Yeah, I do. Which brings me to the next point, 22. What is your blueprint? If you aren't working with human design or gene keys or astrology or numerology and you don't know your blueprint, how will you know what you are operating? If you know your human design, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm multifaceted. I don't stay in a lane. Some people are projectors. Some people are manifestors. Gene keys. I don't understand gene keys, but you know what? I went on to genekeys.com and I got a free report. And it will explain it to you. Numerology. I'm a life path 6, master 33. So I feel like I'm on the right path. My astrology chart is I'm a Cancer, I'm a healer, I'm a way shower, I'm a guide, I'm a wisdom keeper. It's all part of my blueprint. And so for me to think that I'm going to have to give this up, I might have to shift, but I will always be part of this, of helping people live their slower life. Because, I don't want to grind. No, thank you. We have people who are grinding and they're amazing and they're in their 20s and 30s and 40s. But I feel like I'm ready for my soft era. Someone said it the other day and they said we front loaded our experiences early on. We signed up for the early traumas and childhood craziness and relationship issues. And I don't know. I'm just, rambling. Okay. Number 23, I have the algorithm. I love my algorithm, and hopefully you are finding this because you love your algorithm. The algorithm is a cheat code. It's so advanced to tell you exactly what you need, exactly when you need to hear it, because there are a bunch of creators out there who are bringing divine messages through source consciousness and posting them on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. And if you're seeing it, that's a message for you. And when you jump timelines, you might get all new conscious creators in your feed, but you have to pay attention. Okay. Moving on, we're getting close to the end. Getting over judgment from other people. Ooh, this one was hard. This one was hard for me because I am very much, I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want to offend people. I like people to like me. But I'm at the point where I think, okay, you're not paying my bills. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you just haven't read the same books as me. You haven't gone through the trial and errors to see how this really works. You might know of God, but do you truly know God? Do you talk to God? Does God talk to you? That's what I feel tapped into the divine source. And I don't say that from a place of ego. I say that from a place of somebody who has met their crystalline body and cleared out so much of the density that I stand here a clear channel. Well, I sit here a clear channel. But judgment that comes from outside, yeah, you can't let that bother you. And if it does, there's work to do around that. And then the last one I have to offer is experiment with it. Experiment with it. You can't hurt anybody if you say thank you when you get a green light. It's not going to hurt anybody to say, hey, show me the close-up parking spot. And then when you get it, say thank you. That was awesome. I love the way you did that. Or when I turn on my YouTube and I say, Spirit, do you have a message for me? And I turn on a message and it is exactly what I need to hear. So experiment with it. Those are all pieces of the puzzle that I have done. Do I have it all figured out? No. I'm trying, but that's another thing. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, your word is your wand. And how many of us are saying things to ourselves in the quiet moments, in times where nobody is cheering us on? Are you beating yourself up? Are you telling yourself it's impossible, you'll never get there? Or are you cheering yourself on? Because I can tell you, when you're doing the work on the inside, nobody is going to be celebrating you the way that you're going to need to celebrate yourself. So those are the things that I've learned in terms of gamifying my life. This is just starting, actually. Let's just say it's starting. This is just the beginning. I'm up to 51 followers, you guys. If you're following me, thank you. I don't even like the word follower, but subscribe to my channel. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Isn't that cool? It is free to subscribe to my podcast and my YouTube. And I will sit here and I will talk to you all day long. Well, I won't, but you can go back through the other videos and watch those, and it'll probably take you about a day. So Thank you for being here. I would love to know if you guys have any questions or areas where you want me to go in a little bit more. I will do my best to help. That's what I'm here for. I'm an experimenter. I'm a visionary. I'm a founder. I'm an entrepreneur. And I am here to help you live your best life. If you like what I have to say and you want more information on how to work with me, you can go to staytunedsoultherapy.com. That's my business, my mentorship, my harmonic egg, my subconscious work, my soul contract work. That's all there. staytunedsoultherapy.com. Thank you guys so much for being here.